Hi, good day, Starbucks service.
Hi, good morning. I'd like to get a hot caramel macchiato grande.
This is hot.
Hot, yes.
A grande hot caramel macchiato, sure.
Thanks. There's nobody there. Yeah. Alright. This man always here. Wow, how you do one and not the other? Alright, you're welcome. Let me just stay right here. Alright, we here. Okay, good morning. Oh, so good. Oh, I forgot to ask for a straw. Because I like a straw. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Make sure the caramel, well, it's probably sunk to the bottom by now, but still trying to shake it up how best I can. Oh my god, that was so good. I'm sorry. I just love a Starbucks caramel macchiato. And while I make it, I can make it myself, and I do, and it's good. It's just something, it's like the equivalent of when somebody else cooks the food. You get tired of tasting your own hand, as they say, right? So I think that is what it is. It's not that Starbucks is special. I mean, it tastes good, yes. When I say it's not that it's special, I know how to make it. I get it. It's just sometimes you just want to pull up, and it's like a treat. And then it's the branding. Come on, we have to acknowledge the branding, the cup, the feel, you know, the emotions that it evokes. So yeah, branding. And even though it's through the drive-through and I'm not like inside, it has that feeling. But that feeling is there even more when you decide, hey, let me just pop in for a coffee. It's an entire experience, and branding is an experience. Anyway, let me just take one more sip, and I'm going to tell you all what I'm going to do today. Oh my god. All right, okay, I need to get into it, and then I can like really enjoy my coffee. So I just dropped off my kids to school, and Starbucks is like 6 minutes away from my son's school, so it's so convenient. So as I drop off my son, I pass here to Starbucks. I have all my errands mapped out because, let me put this down, because I have a gas leak. It's not a leak, but the connectors are worn, so I have to go get that changed out. So the valve has turned off, so it's not leaking, right? So no alarm there. So I'm gonna go make a stop to get the part to fix that, and then I have to go to pick up some t-shirts that I dropped off to print yesterday, and it's graphic tees that I made. For a long time I wanted to do this, and I'm now actually getting to do this, which is create marketing material from yourself. And what I mean by that is not just wearing your own creations, but wearing your creations that really tells people who you are. And I know this isn't like anything new, anything groundbreaking, but it's really a great conversation starter. So I'm really excited to pick up my t-shirts. I really love what I did with the lettering and the design, so you all will get to see that. Yeah, so yeah, it's a conversation starter, and that's pretty much it. So one says graphic designer, yes. And here's the thing, here's the lesson, that while I'm way more than a graphic designer, I'm actually a brand strategist, brand designer, content creator, agency owner, da 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 da. You're not gonna walk around, but actually you could walk around with a shoe that says CEO. That is a good conversation starting on it. Like, think of it like CEO of what, right? But sometimes it's just better to keep it simple and use words and jargon that people can identify with, right? Because the whole purpose of the t-shirt is for it to be a conversation starter. Some people see graphic design, while they might not have full knowledge, like they might see graphic designer and think, oh yeah, she just do party flyers. No, well then when the conversation starts, let them know that that's not what I do, but this is what I actually do. And you never know, the person that you're talking to who thinks that you're doing party flyers might work somewhere where they could recommend you for top work. So that is something that I had to kind of mentally work through, because for a long time I was actually stuck on what to put on this shirt. And I was like, you know what? And honestly, I'm just gonna say what made the light bulb go off, right? And not like try to be vague. But it's because I observe how Pollyanna Reed always talks about how she's a copywriter, even though she's way more than that. She's transcended way more than that, but she uses the basic language, and then she introduces people to her agency. And I was like, a lot of the times we give ourselves these titles because of what? Because of ego. And I mean, nothing is wrong with saying that you're a strategist or an agency owner or anything like that, but sometimes you really just want to speak to the actual basics, like the actual craft. So if you own a plumbing company and you're the owner, nothing is wrong with walking around and telling people, yeah, I'm a plumber. And then you let them know, well, actually I own this plumbing company and I'll send a guy to do your job or something like that. Like, you are the one looking to close on business. You don't have to literally always position yourself as owner and CEO all of the time. You could just specifically speak to the actual craft. There's really nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that's just a lot more relatable. You know, the whole point is to open the conversation, and then it's up to you now to guide the conversation and position yourself, the business, etc., and set the tone of what you actually do. This is our process. But sometimes we walk around like, what am I going to put on a shirt? Sometimes content creator, and then people stop me and ask me, oh, are you influencer? Are you YouTuber? And again, it's still a conversation starter, but sometimes people just don't know what that means. And the people who don't know what that means is probably more likely the people that you can help, because they know nothing about this realm, but they know they need something. All right, so yeah, anyway, long story short, I'm really excited to get these t-shirts, start wearing them. I'm actually really happy with the pictures that was sent. I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, can't wait to collect, but I also can't wait to like get some more t-shirts and print some more, because I want to have a few in rotation that I could wear often enough. And yes, I'm gonna go do those things, head home, work on a brand and website project. So I will also try to capture some footage throughout my day of that, and I'll check back in later at some point in the day. So I picked up my shirt, and this is what it looks like. Right, so I'll be wearing this, and then at the back it has my website. So let's say I'm in a line somewhere, you're going to see my website at the back. And then I did this one that says, with an ombre effect, graphic and web designer. So it tells a little bit more than just graphic designer alone. So we have two different styles. And yeah, oh, the back also has the website. So let's see how this looks. I mean, I won't be able to see until after, but you guys can see. Right. Yeah. I really need to be able to see myself though. So I'll do a proper fit check in my mirror. Hey y'all. So that last clip that you saw, it's not the same day. All right. So somewhere here I'm gonna put in today's date. It's actually June 13th. 13th, right? And what happened that day is that I came home, I did what I had to do, which was design the homepage, and then everything just got crazy between then and now. So I'm finally picking back up, and I'm going to walk you through what was created that same day, and we're just gonna pick back up where we left off. All right, let's get into it. I laid out the homepage design for this client. So it's always recommended. It's the best practice. Like, sure, you could jump straight into Divi, Elementor. That's if you're on WordPress. You could jump straight into Squarespace, show it, whichever platform that you are building in. Sure, you can dive straight into it. However, it's best recommended to lay out your design. That's how you create a strategic design that's going to really resonate with your target audience and ensure that you get the best product outcome. And not only that, it's the easiest way to help yourself not get frustrated, because you might be like moving things around and you might be wondering, well, why doesn't this look right? It's because you haven't actually like also taken, pen to paper and like sketched out, your sections and know what's gonna go where. And that's the kind of stuff that I cover in my website strategy sessions when I meet with a client to really map out where things are gonna go. So here you would see, oops, don't know why I jumped out. But yeah, here you will see we started, so the client provided her copy. She actually hired a copywriter to write for her, which absolutely is an option, but don't feel that you have to. We can build your website with placeholder text, and I would suggest like headlines, or you can use my website worksheets. That's going to help you figure out what information you want to provide, the message that you want to say, and I will help you refine it. So you will find that my packages says copywriting assistant. I just help you clean up what you provide to me. So there are three options. You can do placeholder text. You can do provide your own copy, write it yourself, and I do copywriting assistance where I assist you with it. And three, you can hire a copywriter. You can hire your own, or we provide the service at my agency, and we have our copywriters do the copywriting for you. All right, so here is the design for Nicole. She is a wellness coach and a wellness brand essentially, and a personal brand website is what she is building. All right, so here we did her typographic logo with a tagline, soulful and heart-centered living, which kind of helped her work through what she really wanted that tagline to say. And this is the copy that the client would have provided from her copywriter. So we basically take your information and lay it out as best as possible. So we start with, she starts with a quote, and when will you begin that journey into yourself? Now, before I dive in too much into that, it's also based off of the branding work that we would have done together. All right, so Nicole actually started off as a brand strategy client. She needed clarity, and we did a VIP day intensive. That's my 3-hour intensive session where we work through your ideal client, your avatars, the problem that you solve. Like, we really go deep into your brand strategy. And by the end of the session, we pair that strategy and start to conceptualize what the visual look
of the brand should feel like, which is what we call your aesthetic, which is what, so this is a note for the client, you can like disregard that, but this was the mood board that we created from that VIP day session. So in our VIP day, we have like a fun Pinterest exercise. That's the last thing that we do when we are wrapping up. And she would have pinned her images. I would have created 2 mood boards, and this is essentially the mood board that leads the focus and direction of the brand. So looking at this mood board, you will then see how it really builds out into the final product, right? So we have this blue here being used. We use the aqua blue for the button with hints of gold. So at first I went with the lighter approach, right? So when last you would have seen in the clips before when I was saying I was going home to build out the home page, since then, this is what had happened. We built out the homepage. It was more a brighter aesthetic. Brighter meaning we didn't use blue. We used gold, tan, and a lot of lighter colors with accents of these 2 colors, which feedback from the client, she was not feeling the more gold layout. Really and truly, her only feedback was just to change around the usage of the colors. She still loved this direction of the mood board, but it's how it was executed, right? Sure, you can have a mood board, but also it's all in how you use the colors, right? So we changed around the colors, and this is what we ended up coming with the second iteration, and this is the one that she approved for the homepage. Now, I must say, the homepage is like the foundation to your home, right? It's the foundation to your digital home. You have to think of a website like your digital home on the internet, right? So we're building a house. And a house, you start with a foundation. So we have the foundation. Once a client approves the homepage, we could actually just go ahead and build out the rest of the website. But this part is critical. The homepage is the most critical part because the other pages, known as the interior pages, is what follows the foundation, right? So it's kind of like you're establishing the blueprint, you're establishing the, I already said foundation, but you're establishing a pattern, so to speak. So if we know, okay, we're using more blues and teals, then we know we're using more blues and teals on the rest of the pages. So that's going to be kept in mind. If we use a particular element on the homepage and that has been approved and there was no objections to it, we're going to use that same pattern throughout the website to maintain that brand consistency. This is her homepage. Create the life that is true to who you are at your core, right? And then we have her Instagram linked below, right? And now we could actually move over. Once this was signed off, we then moved on to building out the about page. Okay, so we build out the about, we build out the work with me, and then we're going to success stories or testimonials. So we don't actually have to create layouts for that. We could actually dive straight into the website platform and build out the rest of pages. And those pages are the testimonials and the blog page. So Wellbeing Essentials is essentially a blog page filled with a ton of resources. So this is what her about page looks like, right? So this here is going to click and it's going to turn into an article that you can read the full story of her journey on her blog. All right, so this is the about, this is what we created, and this is her work with me page. Right, so we chose this very inviting photo. She's on a path. If you really want to go deep into it, this represents her helping you along your path and your journey in life, right? Everything has been carefully curated through brand strategy, through creative direction. I would have created a shot list for her. So even though we don't live in the same country, or even in the same state, or the same province, we are still able to curate your entire brand ecosystem remotely, and I work with your people. So of course I couldn't have a photo shoot with my photographer, but I still showed up and created the shot list let her know what she needs to wear, notice the colors that she's even wearing matches her brand, and whatnot, right? So we knew exactly what shots we needed to get, and all of this. Once you have a shot list, your photographer should know what to do. And in this case, I think he nailed it, right? And so we have an outline of her services. So this one here is a 30-minute consultation. So I chose the photo where she's on the phone. So every photo tells a story. Meditation, she's meditating on the beach. And here, transformational sessions. I chose this one because the people that she might be speaking to might not feel like how she's looking in this photo. Right now, this is the best photo that I feel represents what she can help you get to. You are going to transform, you're going to become transformational, and you're going to look and exude this type of warmth, joy, happiness, self of purpose, etc. So I basically help you tell your story through your branding. Help you connect, tell your message, what's your brand message, all of these really deep things, right? All of that we cover, and it all starts with a brand strategy session, brand strategy call. All right, so this is what we've created. This is what I was rushing home that day to complete, which is the homepage. And then once I got feedback and approval from her, I was just recently able to complete the about and services page. So the next step is to jump into Squarespace because that is the website platform of choice for her. Is the Squarespace platform. So we'll be building that out there and then be preparing her for launch. She will also get launch graphics that you can use to, scream to the world, the digital world, like my website has launched, and you can come work with me, book a 30-minute consultation, etc. So working with me is a complete package. And here I actually wanted to get you all up to speed on where I've been. So I have been working assiduously in the background. This here is a recording or a replay of a clarity call that I did with Janice or Janess. I wrote down. I don't like to butcher people's names. All right. I actually wrote it down, but I believe, if I remember correctly, it's not Janess. It's not Janice. It's Janess, right? So it's Janess. So I met with Janess, and we should be working together in the near future again. But we had a really good call. I actually just recently helped another client launch her website after months and months of preparation, right? So the level of service that you are getting. So let me just switch cameras. Yes, the level of service that you are getting when you book a project with me, it's unmatched to what you might be used to. All right. And I don't say that to, sound cocky or overconfident, but I know this is a fact. And I also know it's not for everybody. All right. Some people don't really, it's not that important to them, that level of service. They just want to purchase a website and go. They just want to get a logo. But that's why the name of my company is called From Basic to Branded. There's no basic here. You might get simple, you might get clean, you might get modern, but it's not basic. Right? So yeah. So I am going to hop on to complete this vlog by finally sharing my thoughts on why I decided to get back into YouTube and really prioritize long form content, right? All right, so long form content versus short form content. Let's get into it. So, the thing about Instagram, all right, it's that it makes you feel like you're actually doing something. All right, we know that the platform has its challenges, and I'm not on here to bash Instagram, say Instagram is dead, or say that you can't monetize on Instagram or grow a huge following on it in 2023. I'm not here to say any of that. But what I will say is that a lot has changed since the early days. All right. You know, that 2016 era. I know there's some OGs who have been on the online streets way before that. But for many of us, 2016 was some pretty early days. See, from 2016, 18, 19, up to even 18. 19 is when it started to change, and then the pandemic came and changed the game completely. And not just because of the platforms themselves, but in the way that society is responding to these platforms. People are tired, people are fatigued. You know, we have PTSD. It's a fact that we have PTSD from the pandemic itself. So even the way that we interact with these apps are different. Many people have left the platform. Many people have left the platforms in general. Right. Many people have left the platforms in general. So it's like the rules just aren't the same. So I want to keep this on. Let me just get something. We will edit this part out. And to make life easier for myself. So, people are fatigued. The same. What do I want to say? What do I want to say here? So, here are my thoughts on Instagram and what it means for me. First, to begin with, for me personally, I see the value in YouTube. I see the value in YouTube and podcasting and just overall long form content instead of short form. This is not a short form versus long form in the sense that one is good or bad, but I just believe that long form content is better overall. It's better overall as a creator, and it's